You guys ready for part 2 of my April book haul? This is all the books that I got for my birthday, so buckle up. We're going to be here a while. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes, so to speak. In part 1, I let you guys know what I went through in the month of April. I kind of gave you guys a little bit of a where have I been, life update, April chaos situation discussion. So if you didn't see that, just flip to the part 1. You'll see the books that I thrifted in the month of April. Not too many, not too many. And you'll also see my update on where I was. April was chaotic. And now I'm ready to talk about the books I got for my birthday. My birthday was on April 6th, and I had gift cards, and I was gifted books, and it was a lot, and I'm very excited. So let's talk about them, all right? There is no order or method to this madness. Allow me to gather them. One moment, please. Okay, everybody, we have 3 stacks. 3 stacks of books. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21 books. Yeah. Well, what can I say? You have gift cards, it's your birthday, you get what you want. For me, that's books. Let's do this. So to start it off, we're going to kick it off with something that I needed for my collection. So I got a gift card, and I had some credit, so I used it to get a Goblet of Fire in the Gryffindor House collection, because in case you didn't know, I am a Gryffindor. I'm almost skirting that line. I'm pretty sure that Harry Potter was between Slytherin and Gryffindor, because some days, I swear, like, a lot of my friends are like, you're not a Slytherin? I'm like, yeah, well, I guess there's some nice parts about me, so I get to be a Gryffindor. So yeah, this is the house editions. I didn't have this one yet. I'm getting them as I can, as I get gift money or an Amazon gift card. I'll pick up one here and there to finish off the collection. So I currently have 4, and I will get more as the option becomes available to me. So great condition, great book. Everybody knows Harry Potter. Don't have to say much more about that. The illustrated edition for the 5th book, I think, is coming out this year. You guys, they're so expensive. They're like $60. But you know what? I'm going to end up getting it because I just love them. They're amazing. The artwork is fantastic. Look it up if you haven't already. Just, wow, mind-blowing. And it takes like 2 years for them to come out, so that's going to be happening in the future. Watch for that. Next, I got, with a receipt in it, Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I'll hold this up like this so you guys can see the author. If you don't know what it's about, it is the next novel by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Her first one was The X-Talk, which is right up here. This one is about 2 news reporters, an anchor and a weather girl, and they are trying to get their bosses together. They're trying to like set them up on the side to make their work lives better. And I have a feeling that between the 2 of them, something ensues, I think. And I'm excited for it. This sounds just awesome, especially for the spring, summer. Like, the spring vibes on this are fantastic. Look at that. I think it's going to be read soon. I don't think it's going to be a summer one. I think it's going to be a right away one. Just that cover is screaming spring to me. And I am a mood reader, as we all know. Next book I got. So excited for this one. Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead. This book, you guys, is the sequel to Finlay Donovan is Killing It, my favorite book of 2021. Such a good book. If you haven't read it, it's great. It's like thriller, contemporary kind of, and then like kind of like it's got that cozy murder mystery dial cranked up on it, and it is fabulous. Especially the characters. The two main female characters in this book kill. They are, no pun intended, but they are fabulous. Their personalities are great. I just love them. And the mob female characters in this book are amazing. In the first book, this book follows them on their continuation with the situations that happened in the first book. Not going to talk too much about it because spoilers, but yes, if you have not read Finley Donovan is Killing It, get on that and then grab this book. You will not be sorry. So good. I feel like I want to read it again. Next book I picked up because I love his books are fantastic, and I love how he displays his stories on his covers, and that is Grady Hendrix, the man, the myth, the legend, the horror author extraordinaire himself, who wrote Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. It's down there on my shelf in this corner over here. And he wrote My Best Friend's Exorcism, and he wrote Horror Store, the one that's like looks like an IKEA catalog. And then he wrote this book that I got my hands on, and it's called We Sold Our Souls. It's got very rock and roll vibes. It looks like the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, and in the top corner there, it even says edition 666. It's just fabulous. Look at that. I just love the vibes he puts out. Excited to read this one and see what I think about this one. I believe it has something to do with trying to be famous and selling yourself to the devil, maybe, to make that happen. I don't know. We'll have to read it and find out. Some of my horror and my thrillers, I don't want to know too much going into them. I just know that I love Grady Hendrix, so that one's definitely a must-buy. Next up, let me see if I can get the sticker off. Oh, it's always the worst. So satisfying when they come off in one piece like that. And that is the sequel to Dial A for Aunties. I picked up For Aunties and a Wedding. You guys, again, if you have not read Dial A for Aunties, awesome, amazing, fantastic. I highly recommend the audiobook because the personalities of the aunties and their way they are read on the audiobook is bang on 100% everything you want in a group of charismatic aunties who try to save the day and end up creating a ton of chaos like this. Our lead character in the first one is a wedding photographer. Her aunties do all other kinds of stuff with the weddings. They do the baking, they do the scheduling and the decorating. So they're all in this wedding planning business together. And something happens to the lead character's date, and he ends up dead. And they have this huge event, so they'll deal with him later. But the cake gets shipped to the wedding venue, and the group goes there to get the cake, and they realize it's not a cake, it's the body. So there's a dead body at a wedding, and they have to figure out how to get rid of it without ruining their careers and the careers of other people that are there that maybe have stuff to do with the characters in this book. So definitely read that. Dial A for Aunties, fantastic. One of those cozy murder mystery-esque kind of vibes going on. Just great. It was right up there with Finley Donovan. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Next, I purchased a couple of Reese Witherspoon Book Club picks. And when I say a couple, I mean like 3. Reese got me pegged. Like every book she picks, for some reason, I just love it. I really enjoy it. I haven't had a bad book yet that I've picked that are from her selections. So I'm going to keep reading them, and I'm not sorry about it. So I got 3 here in my hot little hand. One of them is The Sanatorium. I guess it's about either like a hotel that used to be an insane asylum, and it kind of has the Shining vibes. So down for that. This is a fall read for sure. Pick that one up. That was, like I said, probably October-ish for that one, along with The Troop and like Grady Hendrix. So getting quite the stack of horror-esque vibes. I'm going to have to be careful. I'm going to have too many again. And then I got Lucky, which is like a thriller-esque murder, maybe mystery, or a thriller-esque mystery. And it says, what if you had the winning ticket that would change your life forever, but you couldn't cash it in? I don't know, but I know that it's about a lady named Lucky who's a talented grifter, and then I don't want to know too much more. Apparently it's a quick read, it's not very big, and it is a good read. I believe it's also a Canadian author. So that's a bonus. I like reading from Canadian authors, so I hope that's true. Okay. Another Reese Witherspoon book I got, The Club. So this is the most recent Reese Witherspoon book club pick, I believe. It is about a club, like a country club-esque kind of thing, that all these rich people are in, and like the caption is fantastic. It says The Club, and it says, everyone's dying to join. Yes, please. I'm excited. Rich people behaving badly is my jam. Give me a book about it. Hello, Crazy Rich Asians. Hello, The Lion's Den. I am here for this. Can't wait to pick this up. This is getting read. Hopefully a summer read, because I just have lake, deck, beverage, sun vibes about this one. And I'm excited. Allow me to grab... That was just stack one, folks. Allow me to grab the second stack. One moment, please. Are we ready for stack two? Allow me to get more comfortable here. Okay, let's start it off with a newer cozy mystery. I have one here that is a second book, not in a series, I don't think. Second book by this author. Arsenic and Adobo is up there. That is the first book. This one is Homicide and Hallow. And so I think it's similar to the premise of the other book. It says a Tita Rosie's Kitchen mystery. So I believe it is like the second in that cozy murder sequence of books. I don't know how many she's going to make, but I intend to read them all. Look at the cover. Frick, so much fun. These are just the greatest. They give me that like 90s comic-esque feel to them, and I'm just loving it. Like the pop vibes of the 90s, and I'm down for it. The next one is definitely one of an anticipated book of mine from last year that I didn't end up getting. It was on my Christmas wish list and didn't happen. So I bought it myself. I bought Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. A House in the Cerulean Sea it's not a sequel. This is a standalone. House in the Cerulean Sea was about someone who works with the welfare of children and has to check on homes for children who are like fosters or orphaned, etc. And he gets this job to check on these children at this specific home that is extremely dangerous and very confidential, to make sure they are not going to destroy the world and humanity. Because like some of them are very known terrible individuals, quote unquote, but in this they're just kids. So it's just great, and the romance in it is fantastic. It just has such a feel-good book all around. I laughed, I cried. It's so good, you guys. If you haven't read it, pick it up. And that The House in the Cerulean Sea was the best. I'm excited to see how I feel about this one. This one, I guess, is a book about crossing over. Kind of like a Christmas Carol vibes. This person passes, but he hasn't passed over. So he spends his time at this tea shop, which is the in-between place, I guess, between physical existence and spiritual existence in the afterlife. And I'm excited to see what comes of this. I guess the lead character gets to find out what he was really like and gets to see what people really thought about him, etc., etc. So this one I'm excited to pick up because the writing in the other one was so good. I've heard this one's not as good as the other one, but if the writing's good, I'm going to love it. So I'm not too terribly concerned. Then I got The Maid. So this is a mystery-esque kind of novel. I guess, about a maid who discovers a dead body and has to try to help solve the mystery to maybe get herself off the list of people who are potential suspects, I think. Dead body is one mess she can't clean up on her own. Then she struggles with social skills, and yeah, she has to try to figure out who killed the person that she just walks into being dead. Walks in on being dead, and that's the premise. I don't really want to know too much more. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this book, so I definitely picked it up, and I'm excited to find out how this plays out. It sounds awesome. From everything I've heard on BookTube about it, everybody is raving about it, so I'm excited to have it part of my collection here. Then I got, on the clearance rack at one of my local bookstores, I got a book super discounted. The sticker's still on it. I'll have to get that off without scratching the crap out of the cover, which I hate the stickers. But that's Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. I feel like this is a YA contemporary romancy kind of summer read, and I'm here for it. I don't know too much about it. I know it's been on my list of potential purchases for years since I started watching BookTube. She's a popular YA contemporary author. This will be the first book of hers that I've actually read. Then I also got from said bookstore in the discounted section. Again, there's a sticker on it. Have to get that off. And it is Rain and Dahlia's Midnight Matinee. I've also heard a lot about this on BookTube, and it is also a YA coming of age kind of finding yourself contemporary type of a novel. So I'm excited about that one. The pile down here, you guys, is insane. Okay, hang on. Yep. Let's continue. The last book in the stack that I have is a nonfiction. I am a sociology majored in crime and deviance, and crime, deviance, and minority groups mostly. I like analyzing. I like the theory. I like the process. I like to I'm a people watcher myself. And it's just something that's always been one of my favorites. And this next book, this author is a fabulous psychoanalysis personality, and it's just fantastic. The way he takes regular everyday things and goes into the social aspects and the norms and the psychology of it all is fantastic. And that is The 90s by Chuck Klosterman. Chuck Klosterman wrote Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs, that I read back in college, and I fell head over heels in love with that book and this guy's writing, and it was fantastic. And he analyzed everything from tribute bands to Cocoa Puffs and sugary cereals to Saturday cartoons. He just went all off, and it was fabulous. This one here, he dives into the 90s and our nostalgia and what it means, and I'm just so excited to read it. He wrote a couple other books. But What If We're Wrong was a really popular one that came out, and this one here says, in the 90s, Chuck Klosterman makes a home in all of it. The films, the music, the sports, the TV, the politics, the changes regarding race and class and sexuality, the yin, the yang of Oprah and Alan Greenspan. In perhaps no other book ever written would a sentence like, the video for quote-unquote Smells Like Teen Spirit was not more consequential than the reunification of Germany. Makes sense. Chuck Klosterman has written a multi-dimensional masterpiece work of synthesis so smart and delightful that future historians might well refer to the entire period as Klostermania. So I'm excited to read this. He delves into all kinds of pop culture and such from the 90s and tells us an analysis breakdown take of it, and it's going to be fantastic. Plus, you guys, my nose is itchy. Hang on. You guys, who in the 90s did not have a phone like this? If you watched Full House, DJ did. Who in the 90s did not have a phone like this, or a phone that was it's just a square phone, but it was like all covered in like crafting foam kind of thing. It had like pictures and like stars and moons and stuff on it. Oh yeah, we were so cool. Or the lips phone was another one that got you. Okay, now last stack. Have a sip of your beverage, guys. I'm gonna grab it. Okay, I have a sticker. Oh, this one. Okay, let's go. Next one on the docket. Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. Don't need to say too much about that. She goes to visit her brother. Her brother's not there. His apartment's empty. She needs to hunt around and find out what happened to him. He was expecting her, but not maybe right now, I think is what happened. But yeah, this is Lucy Foley's newest. She wrote The Hunting Party, and she also wrote The Guest List, which was huge a year and a half ago, I think, on BookTube. I read that one, really liked The Guest List, so I'm hoping that I will also really like this one here. And I intend to pick this up this summer. This one, try to get the sticker off. Oh no. This sticker is going to be a problem, you guys. I got this one on the clearance rack. I'm not going to bother with this one right now. Got it for $6 at Indigo. Star-crossed. And this is about, it's a romance involving a second chance romance. I think it has to do something to do with astrology. It was 3 years ago, I think I had heard about this book, and it intrigued me, and I kind of forgot all about it till I saw it on the clearance rack. I was like, oh shit, that's the book I actually wanted to read. And it's cheap, so I'm going to get it right now, because why not? And I am excited for it. It's got those fancy cut-up pages that you either love or you hate. Comment down below, tell me which one it is. Do you love them or do you hate them? Do you love the little, like, torn-up pages? I myself am a fan of the colored end pages. I don't mind the cut up ones. I don't really care. But if you really disdain them, write down below why. Like you have some kind of experience that made you absolutely hate them. I want to know. Next book. Lessons in Chemistry. Can we have a moment for this cover? Summer vibes. Look at that. Super awesome. Love the color. This is fantastic. I am feeling this. It is about a woman who is a scientist in a lab, but she doesn't get the time of day from her male counterparts because it's during a time where she's still like one of the only females in the field. And then she ends up becoming a host of a television show. And it's like she uses scientific terms in her cooking show. And she inspires a nation of women to be what they want, I think. She breaks the status quo. And maybe takes other women who are watching along with her. And I'm excited to read this. Next. 2 books. No surprise. They had them in stock. I bought them. And that's Heartstopper Volume 2. And Heartstopper Volume 3. These are chunkers, you guys. These ones are beefy. I loved Heartstopper Volume 1. I believe it was in a video, and I am going to read these really fast because I cannot wait to get more of these too. Oh my gosh. And there's like a Netflix or a TV adaptation of it now. So I can't watch it until I read some more, but I think it might just be on the first one. If you know, let me know down below. Is it just on the first Heartstopper book right now, or does it delve into the second one? Because I need to know if I need to read before I watch. So, love the first book. It's about 2 guys at a male boarding school who have a romance, an unlikely romance, and I just live for it. It is so wholesome. It's so wholesome. Love it. Okay. Second last book, my husband actually picked up, and he asked for it, and I was like, you want a book? And you want a book that I also want to read? Yeah, we'll buy that. So we went that week and got the book, and that is 1984 by George Orwell. I read Animal Farm by George Orwell. Loved it. Still one of my favorite books. The analogy and the reflection from the book into like the World War II parallels is fantastic in that book. Highly recommend if you haven't read it. And he said this is a book that he thinks he should read. And I said, yeah, and I should read it too because I actually haven't read this one yet. And so we went out and we picked up a copy for him. and I will also be reading it. And then maybe my husband and I can actually discuss a book, which I would be super thrilled about. I would absolutely love that. We'll see if that happens. I will definitely read it at some point. Hopefully he does too. And I do want to own Animal Farm for my shelf. I just haven't found a copy that I want yet. It sounded like something bent. But no, we're all good. I haven't found a copy that I want yet on my shelf that's not stupid expensive. So I'll be looking around for a copy of that. Hopefully I find one at a yard sale or something soon. Now, the last book. You guys, I'm so excited. I was going to buy this book at Indigo because it's a new release, so it's cheaper there. But as we were walking around an independent bookstore, my husband pointed out, hey, isn't that the book you want? And I said, yeah, I'm going to get it at Indigo though, because it's going to be cheaper there because it's a new release. And he goes, yeah, okay. So then you don't care if it's a signed copy. And I said, excuse me, what? And he said, oh, this one here is a signed first edition and there's only 2 of them. And so I went over and I looked at the book and I checked it. Sometimes they want to charge extra for those and they didn't. And I'm paying the same price as I would for hardcover normally and getting a signed copy, first edition. Yep, done. Can't wait to read this one, and it's Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I love V.E. Schwab. Her writing is fantastic. Her adult fiction is great. Her YA fiction, mostly great. I've heard things that this reads a little younger, but I'm here to check it out and see how I feel about it. And the fact that it's a signed first edition is amazing. I'm so excited. You guys, this is not a sticker. That's signed on the page. I'm very excited. Super excited. So, pick this up. I guess it's about a girl whose parents perish or her mother dies, and she's left alone, and she gets a note from an uncle, an estranged uncle, who says that she can come live at his estate, and when she gets there, nobody expected her and nobody sent her the letter. And then there's like a parallel, kind of like if you watch Stranger Things, it's kind of got that upside down feel, like where you don't go past a certain area or else it's like the dark side of the estate or something. I don't know, but it sounds great. I'm excited to read it and see how I feel about it. Very excited to have this in my collection. Nonetheless, I adore this author and I can't wait to read this. Plus, I have some other works of her to read this year that are on my shelf that some of them I got for Christmas. And yeah, that's it. Those are the books. That's the 21 books I got for my birthday. That's part 2 of the April book haul. This was all the birthday books. Holy cow. Now I have to go find places for them on the shelves. I may have to do a little unhaul. Thank you as always for watching. If you don't already, be sure to subscribe so you see more content from me, because there will be some more coming soon. And I cannot wait to make some more videos and have some more time behind the camera for you guys. And like this video if you haven't already liked it. Be sure to tell me in the comments below if you're a fan of the beveled edges, or if you like sprayed edges, or if you dislike both of them. Tell me. I would love to know. Also tell me if I can watch Heartstopper without reading books 2 and 3, or if I have to start reading books 2 and 3 right now. Thank you as always. I appreciate all your likes and your subscribes, and I will see you soon with another video.